Welcome to Transform Your Mind, Body, and Spirit with Lisa Dwoskin. Lisa has been a fitness professional for the past 20 years, as well as a fitness competitor. She's now a life coach and is ready to help educate and guide you with nutrition, exercise techniques, and positive mindset. You're invited to call in and ask Lisa any question about how you can jumpstart your very own transformation and become a better you. Call toll-free 1-800-889-0267. Visit her website at lisadwoskin.com or visit her on Facebook at BBL Fitness. Do you want to be healthier, happier, and live a longer and more fulfilled life? Then get ready to transform your mind, body, and spirit and to emerge a new you. Now here's Lisa.
Hi, and welcome to Transform Your Mind, Body, Spirit. Thank you for joining me today. I would like to thank my sponsors, Children's Medical Research Institute and Franovic Designs and Grand Palms Resort, Soul Rain, soulisreal.com, and also Lycopene Skincare. Dave, you want to talk about Lycopene Skincare a little bit?
That's the only sunblock I've ever used. People say, how do you keep good skin? I said, well, I don't bake myself, and I use Dr. Weinberger's Canthaxanthin Lycopene.
Lycopene, how do you spell
I got
it?
it from my mom, everything. Lycopene. Lycopene, which is that active ingredient,
tomato, right?
free radical scavenger that's common and abundant in tomatoes and a lot of other organic produce. And what I really like about Dr. Weinberger's formula is that it's all organic and it's natural. He figured out years ago that, the FDA and the drug companies, it's a big scam. Can you say scam on the radio?
Yeah.
Anyways, it's a big scam, and you have to bribe the right politicians in order to sell people toxic junk that doesn't actually function, that they make for pennies in a polypeptide synthesizer. So what he said was 100 years ago, 50, 60 years ago, when it was hard to get these organic drugs to everybody, we would resynthesize the similar molecule that was active but not as good, and then we could give it to more people. But he said now, with all the obstructions, grow the organic substances, isolate the active ingredients in ultracentrifuges, and give people the actual food, drugs, the actual, medical botany that actually works without the side effects. So he's got prescription grade items 3 times as effective at 1/3 the cost that you don't need a prescription for. It's great.
Thank you. See, you spoke on the spot. Thank you for that.
Actually, my brain wasn't even engaged.
And his website is spell it out for me.
LycopeneSkincare.com. You can look up Dr. Gary Weinberger. He's a board-certified. He's a gynecologist, he's a surgeon, he was a teacher and professor at NYU Medical School, and also a dermatologist. So he's a brilliant guy.
We'll have him on.
Saved my father's life when no one else could. Just a brilliant guy. I'm so glad to have met him in my lifetime here.
And we had him on. You met him, Freddie, remember?
Yes, absolutely.
He'll be on again. So I had my big photo shoot yesterday. You saw my pictures, Freddie?
Yes, I saw one picture.
They were amazing. They
Yes,
were
it was very nicely done. Good
The
taste.
shoot was about 6 hours with Franovic Designs. Jessica Rivera was the makeup artist. I believe they'll all be on here on May 1st with
What are
me.
you going to do with those pictures?
I don't know. What are you going to do with them?
I don't know. Are you going to...
You're going to get me on TV, right?
Wait a minute.
I'm the new Oprah Winfrey.
Who owns the print? You or them?
No,
or?
they're going to give me all the pictures for
so
sure
you
that
could-
I could use.
Isn't it going
yeah.
into the calendar, the 2017 calendar, the Lisa Dwoskin?
Well, I think we'll put them up
I pre-ordered 10 copies.
This
We'll
is
make
the
sure you
first,
get those.
first photo shoot I've done that isn't in my bikini. Isn't that great?
I don't want it.
No, he doesn't want them. No, but they were very high
They were nice.
fashion
Oh,
gowns.
absolutely. Look really nice. You did
Franovic
a golf
designer.
course and everything, right?
Oh, it was amazing. It was so amazing. But let me tell you, it was exhausting. To be a model for 7 hours with 4-inch heels.
Well, you're not supposed to say.
Exhausting.
You're not supposed to say that. It's just I had a wonderful experience. It was
No,
easy.
it was wonderful, but it was harder than my boot camp and spinning classes.
Oh, stop.
Totally.
4-inch heels, you were 6'6".
I know.
I know.
was,
You want to be
right?
10'7".
It's true. No, I was a giant, but it was great. So thank you, Victor, for that beautiful fashion photo shoot. And we did it at the Grand Palms Resort, which is my sponsor. Beautiful. You saw the waterfalls?
I saw that. Yeah.
It was gorgeous. Beautiful.
Good stuff.
Yeah, I was very, very happy. So thank you for that. They'll be here on May 1st talking about the photo shoot.
Oh, the photographers?
Yeah, all of
that's
them.
good.
All 8
Well,
of
you know
them.
what? We'll get the prints and blow them up and put them in the room.
Yeah, all over. I'll have a poster right behind you.
Yeah, all over.
Bigger
Oh my
than
God.
your poster.
That's
Two
right.
boys from Brooklyn,
That's
right?
right. Make it 12 feet tall.
Aw.
Be right out the window.
So, speaking of photo shoots and being out there in the fashion world, I want to talk with Sarah. Sarah Solstice?
Sarah Solstice.
Okay, so you're a musician and you've been on a lot of different TV events and red carpet events, and you do a lot of spiritual healing through music. So, talk to us a little bit about that.
Correct. So years ago, I had a career in the pop industry. I was part of a group called Third Phase, and we opened for Britney Spears for a whole tour.
Oh,
and we were at the
wow.
Grammys, so we were in that realm. And then I left that, and I wanted to leave it permanently. So I was in Hawaii, I went to Egypt to study, and I got more into like the spiritual energetics of life in general, and I was along the lines being called back. You know, I would hear music in my dreams. So now I've embarked on this new journey of taking the music that I'm hearing in like dream meditation state and sharing it.
Wow, that's amazing.
So wait a minute. Do you sing?
I do sing.
You do sing. So you're a singer.
I'm a singer,
Oh, I got that part right.
You can hear it in her
Singer
voice.
and songwriter too, right?
songwriter also. I rarely sit down to write a song, but I'll hear a song. So I'll be doing something in my day and I'll just hear a fully composed song already. So then my task is to learn software and see if I can learn this instrument and get it down to share
So do you
what
play
I've
instruments too?
lightly. I play a bit of guitar,
Yeah.
some piano, just enough to produce, a little saxophone,
Oh,
just
very
just
cool.
a little of each one.
Is she gonna sing today?
Yeah, maybe we'll let her at the end a little bit. And Dave sings too.
Well, it's the llama thing, you know, the tritone, the...
And the guitar. But
Oh,
before we get
oh, you mean
into the
that.
Buddhist Lama over here who's very shy, let me introduce Ronnie. He is a filmmaker, he does documentaries. Excuse me. And you did a beautiful, I don't know what to call it, like a video or something on Facebook you put together for an event that you're having, which I'm hosting, and I'm very excited about, and she's singing at it. So talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, the event is coming up on the 23rd. It's a week from, or it's actually this Saturday coming up. It's at Ocean Manor Hotel. The benefits going to the Peanut Butter Jelly Project. Which
I
helps
love that.
homeless in Fort Lauderdale.
Yes.
And at the event, basically, we're going to have live painters. We have Nicole Samnes, John Rice, Larry Calabrese that's going to be painting live. We also have spoken word poetry.
Talk right. Forget. Don't look at her. Talk right into that mic.
We also have some spoken word poetry from Chaos Theory, and Sarah Solstice is going to be performing while I do live visuals, projecting live visuals to help tell the story of her music. And then we have the main guest is Judy Satori, who's flying in from New Zealand. She's actually here right now at a New Life Expo. But what she does is basically speak what's called light language.
Yeah,
And
that's
light
what I wanted to
language,
say.
basically,
Yeah.
the frequencies of that helps expand the dormant DNA inside of our consciousness, so you start becoming a little bit more enlightened, in tune to everything in life.
I love that. You know, when I walked into the studio today, well, actually, when the three of you came here, it became so much more spiritual because you all are very spiritual. You can feel the energy. It's so cool how when you have people who are enlightened, well, and Freddie, you're very spiritual.
Don't know what you.
Should I tell your secret?
No. Shh. Keep talking about the show.
Okay, anyway, when you get a group of people like this together and you feel the energy, it opens up the awareness to look at those two looking at us over there on the other side, the board operators. Hi, guys. Hi, girls. No, but really, you even said it. You can hear me, right? You even said it when they walked in, how you feel the vibe, right? The vibe of the tribe.
The vibe
Totally.
of
Heart Tribe.
So what did you feel when my guests walked in?
Like I want to hang with them.
Yeah, exactly, right?
I want to go to Burning Man and just hang and just, chill and all good. We'll make jewelry. We'll make music. We'll make love.
Holy smokes. Are you coming back?
We're bringing Freddie, too. He's going to
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's make jewelry.
He's going to be our golden
I
calf.
got no problem with a
I
golden
want to hang out
cat.
with Freddie.
I
A
love
golden
it. I
cat.
love it. I love how you guys are, and I can't wait for your event. And by the way, I have a book signing event this Thursday, April 21st.
When did that happen?
Because I'm doing a lot, Freddie.
You didn't tell me
I'm
nothing about no
becoming a
book signing.
superstar.
And you
don't
got a
know
meeting
about
on
it?
Friday too. Don't forget
Oh
that.
yeah,
Another
right. I
meeting.
got my text over there.
Yeah.
Anyway, the book signing is at Celebrity Sports and Plantation from 6 to 8 p.m.
6 in the morning.
6 to
At
8
night?
p.m. p.m. Are you the one nervous now, or what?
No, that's a big spring on me. I didn't know that. And we got to get down there to film a little bit.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
And then I'm hosting his event. I mean, I'm not.
I know, I see your name on the
sleeping.
card.
Don't I look great?
Really cool.
Anyway, okay, my next guest over here in the corner is my very good friend for about a couple years, Seafood Dave. And he has been like my spiritual guru, really. I've always wanted one. But you have woken me up like to learn about so much. This guy's like an encyclopedia. Anything you want to know, and don't, the light's about to fall on your
don't let that light
head.
fall on your head, because
Come
if
up
it
a
does,
little
it's going to
bit.
hurt. There you go.
Then, you know what? He'll levitate it off the ground.
Maybe that's what was happening.
Anyway, talk to us
You got
a
to
little
get
bit.
closer to the mic, Dave.
Talk to us a little bit about yourself.
No, I can't do that.
With your Superman
Being a
shirt.
Buddhist Lama, I'm not allowed to speak about myself because I don't really exist as a separate being.
He's 900 years old. Did you know that?
964 this year.
You
Does
don't
he
look
look
a
great?
day. You don't look a day over 9.
He moisturizes you.
964.
You look beautiful. He's moisturizing.
Well, I just used Dr. Weinberger's Lycopene
Right.
skin block.
www.lycopene.com.
We're just joking, of course. I get into the ocean, I drink enough water, and really it's the, just trying to be in the right place. Plus, I'm really only, biologically, I'm only 27, so that's
Every year I know him, it gets younger and younger. Okay, we have Sue on the phone right now. Are you there?
I'm here.
So Sue is a twin flame priestess, which I've talked to you a little bit about on Instagram. Have you seen her page on Instagram?
I have.
Twin flame lovers. It's all about sex and intimacy and love, and it's great.
As a
Hi,
Buddhist
Sue.
Lama, I'm not allowed to
Healing
speak
and
about any of
healing,
that.
She's going to be laughing. What, Sue?
How are you?
Good, good. How are you? I can't.
I'm good.
Okay. Yeah, does everyone hear her? Okay. So now that we have the full group here, our topic of discussion is about love. True love, unconditional love, universal love. So let's start with Seafood Dave in the corner. How do you define unconditional love?
Well, that actually there is no unconditional love, or there's no platonic love. There's no filial love, familial love, intimate love. There's only one definition. There's only one. I had a friend who was a seminarian, Roman Catholic seminarian, and he told me, he said, love is willing the good of another. Love is only willing the good of another. There is no more involved. There's no subjectivity. There's no quantitative alternatives. That's all there is to it. It has nothing to do with what you're getting out of it. It has nothing to do with if it benefits you or anyone or anything. It wills the good of another. Anything else might be a distortion, is a distortion of that pure spiritual definition.
What you just said, I love about what you're getting from another. It's not what you get from another. Because our society thinks love is about most people that aren't enlightened like we are, most 90% of the human population, they feel they need to gain something in order to love. They want something, they need something, they want to control, they want to be obsessive, jealous. It's really bad how they define love.
That's the fallen world, the world of illusions interfering, disrupting the actual connection to your spiritual nature and true love. And there's a more symbolic, there's a lot of beautiful imagery in ancient Bon and ancient Buddhist Ayurvedic cosmology that illustrates why this conflict comes into play, where we start defining love as very much the opposite of what it actually is. And we can touch base on that later after our other luminaries.
Let me thank you. Let me get to, before you two, Sue, since you haven't said too much, we just got you on the phone. What is your definition of unconditional love?
I agree with everything he just said as well. I believe that's an expression of love. And love to me is something really indescribable in the sense of we can see the effects, just like we can see the effects of wind, but we can't see it. And so there's ways we express it, and one is willing the goodness for another. But in regards to unconditional love, I feel it's really choosing for yourself that no matter what happens in your life, you are going to keep your heart open. You're going to choose love, to extend love from the center of your being, no matter what you experience or who does you wrong, or it's unconditional in the sense that it's not exclusive to just one person. It's for yourself. You choose love no matter what, unconditionally for yourself, and that keeps your heart open. So, and I used to think unconditional love was okay, like from a parent to a child, and then then you have people that you don't like very much, and it's like, okay, well, that's conditional, but really it has to apply to just your everyday state of being, and how you move in your life, and you just take it with you. You embody that. You vibrate at that level, and it keeps opening and opening as your heart remains open instead of that tendency to close your heart.
Yeah, that's very true. Okay, Sarah, what's your definition?
I love that. I love everything she said, because it's this effective, productive life force that comes out of all of us, right? So this love that is at our center, that nurtures everything or enlivens everything or makes everything work or makes everything go off and be productive. Mm-hmm. So this love that's coming out of us, we can choose to access it or choose not to access it. So like she's saying, in any situation we have this wellspring of this unconditional love that we can decide to pour it all over everything and then experience it, or we can decide to be involved in the human game and, like you're saying, all these others, maybe not experiencing it.
Right.
So.
Right, exactly. Okay, Ronnie, what do you think?
I agree with everyone, and to me, like when I think of unconditional love, it boils down really simply to God in action. It's once you're choosing from your heart, that's coming from source, and that is straight God moving you because you have no other conditions there. It's just what is necessary to happen.
Mm-hmm. I like that. Okay, Freddie.
Well, I'm not going to agree with everybody because that would be boring. I think that the bottom line is that people say that they want to love unconditionally, and then as soon as something hits the fan, well, that goes out the window. I mean, how many people have met in Florida that have been through bad relationships and they used to believe in one thing and they stopped believing it? Mm-hmm. And then if it gets even worse, they start believing in themselves. So I think unconditional, what's bigger, the word love or the word unconditional?
True.
Right, that's true.
I mean, what does it come down to?
Right.
Just
well, and I agree with Freddie as well, because like you and I spoke about, I'm new. Even though I published a book on mind, body, spirit, I'm new into the whole spiritual enlightenment phase. I've always been a fitness, exercise, nutrition, balance, the mind, body, spirit, but this event that I'm going to, that I'm hosting, like everything you all are bringing me into, I'm so excited about. And meeting Dave on a sidewalk where he just kind of dropped from the sky, you've taught me so much about spiritual enlightenment. And I tend to agree a little bit with Freddie, because Dave and I talk about this all the time, because I go back and forth with my ex-husband relationship. Not that we've ever gone back together. Don't worry, new girlfriend, we're not together. What I mean is I go back and thought of stories where I share with Dave how I used to handle things and how I handle things now. And I've come so far, but there is something inside of me that I try to be this spiritual enlightened person with the unconditional love, without the thoughts or the ego and the anger and that kind of stuff. But then there's still the human side of me, which it's almost like a tug of war, and I don't know how I know it's going to slowly get more and more to where it's less ego, more spirit. But how do you really become unconditional love? Like, really? I love my kids unconditionally, but there's also conditions. So go ahead, Dane.
That's a good point. And the way to step into the process is by doing. You know, there's an old adage that be careful of what you think, because thoughts become words, words become actions, actions become habits, and habits define who you are. They become your character. So if you can't think in those terms, I tell people a shortcut that's actually very effective. I say, pretend this, be this, do this. Different people, it works in different ways. You're on a stage and you're acting a part 24 hours a day. Why would you not want that? Why would you not? And within a few months, you can't get out of character. You know, when you live in a temple, you do what monks do, and you think like monks think, and you are like monks. And you know, different people come to the where we're at on the mountain from different places, and in Buddhism, Ayurvedism, Hinduism, it all doesn't matter whether we're struggling up the mountain, whether we were halfway there, or whether we're strolling down the mountain when we meet. So some of us naturally just feel this way about things. From the time we were 8 years old, we always looked at things that way, and we didn't deviate. And other people are coming there from a different perspective. So just keep acting that way. Whatever people do, whatever the fallen world of illusions around us compels us to do, remember that a person of consciousness acts. Only an animal reacts. Nothing that can happen to you has any effect on you. You be at the center of this stage. Whatever else is happening, you are putting on this command performance. You are the CEO. You are the Donald Trump or the Hillary. You keep doing what you're doing. Everything around you will start rotating around you, and you start defining the world around you.
Right, that makes sense. Did that answer your question well, Freddie?
No, it does. And I wanted to touch a little bit about the event that you're going to be hosting, where I guess being in touch with your energy levels and increasing your energy levels, your awareness, exactly what Dave was just talking about. Can you increase your levels? In other words, if your level is here and you become more cognizant of who you are and what's going on around you, can you increase those levels, and what happens? You know, good things begin to happen when that percentages begins to rise, and you begin to become aware, whether it's through music or art or just sitting and having a conversation. What happens? How does that whole thing change your outlook on life? Which I'm sort of touching on this because I think this is a very exciting program that you're going to be having, and I want you to name the date, the time.
Oh, we're going to talk about it more at the end.
Yes, for people who are not myself, of course, but are truly enlightened illuminaries on the panel today.
Yeah, let's hear from you guys.
Yeah, when we're dealing with people who are aspiring to do things in a better way in their life and think in a better way in their life, in your own personal experience, people you have interacted with, what techniques have they used to move closer to where they want to be?
And then Sue will get right to you.
Sue, we want to hear from Sue.
Yeah, but go ahead. You guys explain.
Go ahead.
Okay, so something that we find very effective is fun. A lot of times we're in a situation and it seems so dramatic, and we can know for sure that if there's any tension or if there's any dense experience, emotion that's going on other than enjoyable love, you're for sure thinking that you're this limited human. For sure. Right? So it becomes a big joke. Oh my God, I can't believe I thought that I was this limited human without access to my joy, my delight, my play, whatever. So then as long as you're in the situation and you feel that tension come up and you feel yourself go from like joy, I love everything, I'm synchronized, to that like, I'm confused, I don't know what to do, what's going on here, you can at least notice that. Oh, that's so funny that I'm confused right now. Right?
Right, yeah.
Bring yourself to
makes
this
so much sense.
self-love, too. You're like, oh, you're so adorable. Look
Yeah.
at you. You're confused right now. You're stressing out. This is precious. Like, you're precious. And then it opens the gateways for us to connect back to that. Like, okay, love. Okay, joy. Okay, all of us together. And then you stream yourself back into that.
Well, and you made the best point, and we're going to talk about this after the commercial break. Self-love. That's the problem with our society. They don't love themselves. So that's a big topic we're going to talk about. But Sue, thank you. That was beautiful. Sue, go ahead. What is your take on that? Before we get into the self-love.
Yeah, I just love what she just said. And
And she's gone.
Uh-oh.
She's calling back in though.
She's
She had another message.
She'll-
She got channeled to another dimension, but she'll be back.
I
And the
love
point is the
that.
fun. Yeah, the fun was great. Keep it fun. Like Albert Einstein said, your mentor, he said creativity will always win out over intellect. And Lama Chogyam Trungpa, the most prolific Buddhist writer of the 20th century, wrote in Shambhala Warrior, he said the failing of the Western world is their inability to see the humor of their lives. So keeping
Yeah.
it fun, whatever is going on,
Right.
that's wonderful.
No, that's 100%. It's like I tell a lot of people, my friends in my inner circle, it's like, what's the purpose of having that stress? If you have something you're going through in your life, it's you have to look at the better outlook of it. And it's like a lot of people call it being optimistic and at times, but I don't feel that way. I feel it's just once you allow yourself to have the fun and joy inside of yourself, you're releasing all that negative energy and making more room for the positive energy and positive things to start coming
For
into
sure.
with you.
Yeah, I love that. Sue, you back on?
yes, I'm sorry, my line dropped.
No, don't worry. So we're talking about fun and having more fun in our lives, humor. So go ahead.
Yeah, so it boils down to a choice of, we're still conditioned, like, okay, if this happens in your life, then this is the reaction that society says it's appropriate, or that you've been trained to react a certain way.
Mistrained.
Taking a moment, stepping back, like, you can choose happiness. You can choose to go, being sentenced to prison, and you can't change the circumstances, but you can change your internal response. And, we are, and that involves fun, and happiness. I think just the choosing happiness in that path it is a path in enlightenment. It's unconditional, that you're invulnerable, you're invulnerable to what the world throws at you, because you're always that choice in your internal state of how you're going to experience your life. And and I think we're all, bottom line, common denominator, seeking our own good, seeking happiness, and we have it accessible to us to make that choice.
Yeah, I love that. Choose happiness, fun, humor. So my book is right on point, because that's all I talk about. So I must be very spiritually enlightened, more than I thought I was. By the way, that's Metamorphosized, www.lisadwoskin.com. You can buy my book at Amazon or at Barnes & Noble's online. We're going to a commercial break. We'll be right back talking about self-love. Thank you.
If you're a golfer or just someone who wants the best hotel stay in South Florida, your wish has been answered. Introducing the Grand Palms Hotel Spa and Golf Resort. The Grand Palms Hotel Spa and Golf Resort, located in beautiful South Florida, gives everyone the opportunity to enjoy peace, beauty, and tranquility. 137 comfortable rooms and suites located on a 27-hole golf course with all the amenities that you'd expect of a first-class golf facility. A professional golf pro shop, excellent restaurant equipped with a full-service bar, and a staff that is ready to cater to your every whim.
The Grand Palms Hotel Spa and Golf Resort is paradise waiting for you. The Grand Palms is truly a golfer's paradise. The golf course surrounded by luxurious homes and the most exclusive exquisite landscaping in the area. You might even catch a glimpse of some celebrity golfers swinging their golf clubs. Whether you're an avid golfer or just coming to the area for business or relaxation, you won't find a more comprehensive resort experience for the value. Located minutes from South Florida's famed beaches and some of the best shopping in the country, there's something for everyone at the Grand Palm Spa and Golf Resort.
If you're looking to book a wedding, party, or speaking engagements, this is the place for you. Grand Palms Catering is the best in town, with gorgeous and spacious garden rooms and clubhouses overlooking the golf course. Grand Palms is the best kept secret in Pembroke Pines. Call today, 954-431-8800, and book your reservation to one of the most beautiful golf resorts in Florida. 954-431-8800 is the number you need to enjoy a touch of paradise for your getaway. According to the CDC and the FDA, after receiving the HPV vaccine, thousands of young women have reported convulsions, crippling fatigue, paralysis, blindness, and other severe reactions.
In 2013, one of the developers of the HPV vaccine admitted on air that more than 70 young girls were known to have died after being vaccinated.
Recently, the American Academy of Pediatricians issued a warning about the HPV vaccine, Gardasil, causing premature menopause and ovarian failure in young women.
In 2013, Japan became the first country to withdraw its recommendation for the HPV vaccine.
Denmark now has 5 regional uptake facilities for girls who were healthy before they received HPV shots and are now exhibiting serious medical harm.
The makers of the HPV vaccine claim it protects against ovarian cancer from developing in 20 to 30 years, but the vaccine was approved after less than 5 years of testing.
It's okay to ask questions about vaccine safety. Learn more at cmsri.org, paid for by the Children's Medical Safety Research Institute.
You are transforming your mind, body, and spirit with fitness professional and life coach Lisa Dwoskin. You can call in at any time, toll free, 1-800-889-0267 to speak with Lisa. Now let's get back to this week's show.
Okay, we're back. And if you would like to call in, please give us a call, 800-889-0267, to talk to any one of us and ask us any questions. Before we jump back into the subject, excuse me, about self-love, let's talk a little bit again about this event. So, I'm hosting this event. When is it now? This Saturday night. I'm kidding. April 23rd. How am I going to stay up till, by the way, Dave's going to keep me awake because you're coming too, right?
I got to come to the event
You
Saturday?
have to. I gave you flyers.
I was supposed to go see Martin, but I guess he can come here.
Yeah, you have to, so I stay
can come
awake.
here.
You have to, he dances on tables and gets crazy.
That's
And-
not me.
And he doesn't even drink.
David or
That's
Martin?
my evil twin.
He doesn't even drink alcohol at all. I'll drink all the alcohol.
My evil twin drinks.
Anyway, 111 and 1111 is my favorite numbers. I'm all about, my book is all about 1111, 111. Anyone who knows and is close to me gets texts all the time, 111, 1111. Freddie and Dave both.
I don't know what she's talking about.
Anyway, I love that 1111, but it's a very spiritual number. So the event is 7/11 to 1/11, Saturday night, April 23rd. It's going to be an amazing event. So everyone needs to come, and we'll put it up on the website, all of our websites.
Yeah, the night is made up of the spiritual art community of South Florida, from all the way from Miami, and like this community really started off and from what I've known, like with the Moksha family down in Miami, and what they've really done is bring together different artists and really using their art to get people in tune to spirituality. So it's like it's made together with. The poets are there, Chaos Theory. Their poetry speaks to people to get within, so they can find who they are.
Now, talking about this, I'm so excited to get involved with all these groups, but some of my friends, and we won't even mention my father because that's a whole nother subject, but some of them would think like, oh my God, Lisa, you're going to come back with this long hippie dress and a dot in the middle of your forehead and you're going to be smoking and like, hey, let's all get spiritual. So how can I...
Where can I get it? Where can I get
Watch
a dye?
it, because in a couple months, that'll be me, right?
Can I get a dye? Where can I get a dye?
No, but really, how can we tell people that it's not about hippie peace? It's about raising your level of conscious awareness, being more mindful, and living in the now. How do we explain this to
But
the
you
people?
got to remember, in the 60s, everybody was whatever they were doing, they were doing.
How
And
could
everybody-
any of us remember the 60s?
You can look it up.
Oh, that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It was all about.
We do have the internet. That's true.
That's right. But it was all about that spirituality and
Yeah, of course.
I mean,
And they
Dave,
were all
you're
more
900 years
peaceful.
old. You can't remember
That's
the 60s?
true.
I know,
I was somebody
right?
else then,
Smokes.
though. I was someone else then. I was in a temple in Tibet. The 60s passed us by there in Tibet.
Okay, back to the question. So how do we tell the people, really? You guys answer. Or Sue, you want to fill in on this one? We can't forget about Sue on the phone. How do we get the people
I think
to...
you just did. You just described it perfectly. I mean, raising your consciousness and your awareness is no longer exclusive to, hippies. And, I mean, it's really about the quality of your life and the quality of your relationships and the inner work that we do. We see that in our environment and in our situation. So, I think you just did a great job describing it.
Thank you. See, I'm a lot better than I thought.
Sue,
This show is about me, of course. No, I'm kidding.
Well, it's your show. I wouldn't come if, Miss Florida wasn't here.
Wait,
Why-
Dave's a Capricorn like me, so that's why we're
He's
like
a
the
Capricorn.
leaders.
Leading the party train.
Buddhist Buddhist lamas can't have a
Yeah.
sign. They forbade
Yeah.
me.
900-year-old Capricorn.
Yeah, I was born on May 7th, 1052. That's
See
not.
how we're always
There
trying
weren't
to
even-
steal the show,
There
the two
weren't even
Capricorns.
Capricorns back then. I mean, there wasn't even a calendar then.
Wait, the narwhals. Remember the
what?
shirt that you have? My kids are always thinking about the narwhals. They're fishes with a horn, like a unicorn. Okay, let's get back on point
get back
here. Okay, let's get back to. I
We're
want
going to devolve into unicorns, of course. All the hippies do.
Ronnie, I want you to tell me how we could explain to people, just to say, raise your level of conscious awareness. Like, how can we get people out of being fearful for learning about spirituality?
That's a very interesting question. To me, I feel the best way to approach people with this message is just to let them know that there's people. Well, first of all, people actually start getting weirded out because they have their religion that they've been programmed to believe since they were born. And basically, like with spirituality, it's taking all those different religions are still coming from that same universal message, a heart-centered message of love. And that's really what all this is about. It's taking people with different paths, different journeys in their life, and putting them together. And then once you have all those people together, you have the synchronicities that just start flowing. The energy starts to rise together.
Yeah. That's true about
I
the
love
religious
that.
message, the core message. You're absolutely right. But it gets horribly lost in the mundane, political, social nature. What people actually get from their so-called religion is just some bizarre, twisted after effect of the real message. Never gets to them, unfortunately, unless they make that effort. I think, as Sue kept pointing out, and everyone on the panel kept using the word choice, choose to look into your religion, as I did when I was a little boy. Look into the religion and study it and find out about it, and then you'll get to that spiritual core.
Yeah, because spirituality isn't religion, and that's what people get like a little freaked out about.
It can be mutually exclusive, and it really can. Because I was talking with a group about that just this past week about how the most important thing for you to exercise free will about and actually choose in life, you never ever get any choice on whatsoever your religion, your philosophy. No choice at all. It's foisted, it's forced, its free will is instantly gone from it, unless you make the effort of being, conscious about it.
Okay, let's go to self-love, because if we start talking about religion,
Well, look at
another
all the
show.
energy you have in this room. You have somebody on the phone from Texas. You got a 900-year-old Buddha over here. You got somebody who sings and
Yes,
artists
isn't it
and
great?
in the room. I mean, you can feel the energy in the room, and it, you're bringing everything together so that you can talk about different things. And I think they've put it eloquently. Everybody gets a chance to put something into the pie. I think that the uniqueness about what's going on right now, and I think Connecticut felt it when they came in, is that you got a whole bunch of ingredients right now going on. you know, and you can sense it, you can feel it, it's there.
Yeah.
And like Dave said, you have to pick, you have choice, you have to pick to be part of that program.
And it rubs off because being around you two, I could already feel that
see it.
my life is going to change even more than it's already changed meeting you. And Freddie, you're extremely spiritual too.
Why does she keep saying that? Is she being facetious? She's
No,
We
is.
had an agreement that she was never going to
I'm
bring
not
that
allowed
up.
to say what, but let me tell you, he's more spiritual than all of us put
That's
together.
not true.
So anyway, okay, let's talk about self-love. So I feel that a lot of people don't love themselves, and I can tell you as a trainer and a life coach, everyone I meet almost every day tells me they could be kind and loving to others, but they can't to themselves.
That's right.
Which is just shocking to me. But
And why does that happen, Lisa?
I think they're afraid. They have a lot of fear, and I think they just don't tune into themselves. They need to meditate, and they need to be kinder and loving to themselves. I think too many people feel guilty, and it goes back to what we're always talking about. They feel like they have to need things, want things, prove things to others, because that's how I was growing up. And I had to self-teach myself to become more centered, more grounded, and meditate and listen to what was within, which is what you guys are talking about, love.
Can I just say something?
Yeah.
I love you so much. I always feel so
I love you too.
You're so awesome.
You're awesome. I just got to give her a shout out because she was helping your show when I was on your show.
She still does.
Then she heard me speak, and she came to help on my show out of her own free will. Then she asked me if she could hire me as a life coach. I told her, no way, I'm going to be your life coach for free because I think you're awesome. So thank you. You really are. And she speaks like 12 different voices, like an actress.
She's a voice enthusiast.
That's better than speaking
Voiceovers.
languages.
What do you want to hear? Just tell her to speak one, anything.
I want
You
to
want
hear
the
you.
French ones? You want the French? I'll do French.
Yeah.
I also like doing English a lot.
You see that? She's great. Oh,
That's
you're
better than
amazing.
actually speaking French.
But she's cute. And you know what? The fact that I touched you and the fact that I touch one person listening to this radio show, the fact that my book can help one person or my gym that I own, that's why I'm here doing this, not to like toot my own horn or go from my ego and talk from my ego. It's because I really want to help people. So thank you. That touched my heart.
Well, I seen your work. I've seen who you have worked with and how you've brought them full circle back to being something. And the amazing thing about all of this is that the more you do it, the bigger it grows. I was a big skeptic at the beginning. I said,
you never told me that.
It's true. I said, this is never gonna take off. This thing is out of control. It's everywhere you go. Everybody's talking about Lisa. Everybody, every station, and I work on 5-6 different stations. Everybody tries to copy what you do. Everybody's trying to be you, and you gotta be yourself. But the lines that you touch, you have no idea.
Don't make me cry, you guys.
But it's
This
tremendous.
is terrible.
It's tremendous.
Dave's over there in the corner thinking, what? No.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, but thank you. I met someone, I actually didn't even bring this up. Yesterday, after the 7-hour photo shoot that I did, which I loved, I went to an American Cancer Society event straight from the photo shoot for 3 hours up here in Boca for the Relay for Life. And J-Dog, which put it all together, I'll give him a shout out, he pulled me aside and he said, he's been on the radio, I think, for like 25 years or something. He said, Lisa, I'm watching what you're doing and I'm looking at everything you're posting, and I just want you to know, and you're going to laugh at this, don't let the haters and the jealous people bring you down, because there's a lot of them out there.
I don't think there's any.
No, and I told him that. I said, let me tell you, I have like a shield up of positive energy, and none of that ever bothers me because I love what I do, and if they want to hate, let them hate. I'll turn it into love.
And, it's better for people to chase you than you chase people. So If they want to be haters, that's on them. Karma is a beat. So whatever happens, it happens. But again, what you have done, I can tell you firsthand, I'm amazed. And I've been in this business over 20 years. I've never seen anything like what's happening now. This thing has like a life of its own.
Well, and you know why? And everyone here on this panel could agree with me, of course. No, but really, because you believe in it. Gratitude, giving back, believing in yourself, and doing good things for other people, and putting it out there, it comes back to you for sure. That's not why we do it, but anything, and manifestation and intentions and creating positive energy will surround you for sure. So what I like to talk about with self-love, and I want to hear from all of you, what I tell my clients is to meditate, to go within, to be kind and loving to themselves. Silly little things like wake up in the morning, look in the mirror, and say, I love you to yourself. What are other ways that you all would teach people? Because that's the question I get all the time. How do I learn how to love myself more? So go ahead, you start.
I think, honestly, it's
Ronnie.
now, we have basically music is a great tool that I utilize for people. There's musicians out there, especially we have a great community here locally of musicians that are in tune to life and their message comes across. So like for myself, like when I was first waking up, I was spending a lot of time just listening to the music of the artists here locally, Sarah's music, Telekinetic Walrus, Afro Beta, and that right there, like just constantly listening to that and just having those little reminders of who you are.
Yeah, I love
that was really, really helpful. And it's like also like painters. It's like, you look at a painter's artwork, that's a spiritual painter, and then you just start asking yourself questions from that. And that just starts to help move things along.
Yeah, I love that. And Sarah, what do you think?
I love what Ronnie said about the music because it really is effective, right? All of this art that everyone's creating with this message, it works. So if we put it in front of our face, it reminds us of that. But I feel like self-love is almost like the choice of deciding to be positive. It's a similar thing. So we have this power within us, right? We can choose to enjoy anything. We can also choose to love ourselves. So we'll be going throughout our day, and I like to suggest seeing yourself as like a 2-year-old, a 3-year-old, a child. So you do something, you get upset, something's going on, and instead of like being upset with yourself, you just talk to yourself like, oh, baby girl, like, I'm right here. What do you need? Like, I have everything that you need. And like you said, it's that meditative center that you access that gives everything you need to the one that's not loving themselves, but then you become that role also that's loving that person that you're not loving.
That's beautiful. Okay, Sue, go ahead. Give us how would you tell people to love themselves more?
Well, for me, my path in self-love has been really about self-acceptance, and the more I've accepted myself and my strengths, my weaknesses, my quirks, and I've embraced and loved myself more. So, when you look in the mirror and you, like you said in the morning, you say, I love you, and if you see the imperfections, you can choose to love the imperfections, and choose to accept it. So, yeah, for me, acceptance and love kind of go hand in hand when it, regards to me just embracing who I am.
Right, for sure. Okay, Dave, Seafood Dave in the corner. How do you tell people how to love themselves more?
Well, this is a
Superman.
kind of an embarrassing little subject for me.
Oh, God, he loves himself more than anyone in the world.
I can confide in everybody that chapter 17 of the Lama book, all 89 chapters, I just never got it. I still don't even know what self-love really is. I had a big problem with even grasping the concept of what. I think, frankly, I can't even really prove that I exist, so I can't really love myself or even acknowledge that we're even conscious. I always use the analogy that the universe ended 25.5 billion years ago, and this is just a memory God is having of what could have happened to us when we were there, if we were there, which is an easy way to make things positive. Make your memories of what's going on now positive, because this isn't really happening. And I really palpably feel that way. And I really don't acknowledge myself as a person worthy of love or even any attention to myself. I'm not a person of affectation, or I mean, it's a very strange concept for me, even particularly as a lama. I don't get the whole self-love perspective.
Well, I think maybe you do. I mean, me being friends with you for like almost 3 years, every time I have an issue and I talk to you about it, the way that you talk to me about thinking positive and changing your thinking, everything you're talking about almost is self-love.
Well, it's self-love for you, or self-love for Sarah, or self-love for Freddie, but I'm just telling people how I think. I don't really have a point of view. I just tell you how I think. Well, this is what I look at. This is what I look at. That, if you're first person all the time, maybe it's hard to have, I really always have.
But Dave, that's a point of view.
It's a point of view, right? I've always had an impediment with understanding, grasping. To me, self-love seemed to be a little self-absorbed or self-focused, and it really did.
Okay, let's get a rebuttal over here. Come on.
Because there might be things I don't know. This is the thing I have to confess I don't know.
Let's hear what you have to say. Go ahead.
This is exciting because when we say self-love, we can think of it in terms of the one self, right? Just the being, just the oneness, the universal source of everything. And so if we come from a standpoint of you exist, you exist, you exist, everyone is here, how can I most effectively love on them? And then it turns back to, okay, well, how can I most effectively be this love, because they are me and I am them and we are all just this one self.
Wow, that's great.
That's how I feel. That's how I feel all the time. I guess bringing it into focus was helpful.
That was great.
Yeah, I don't seem like the modern Buddhists, the neo-Buddhists say, well, we're all cells in the body of God. I'm a cell, you're a cell. So it's hard for me. Like, I feel like if I love myself, I'm actually turning into a little cancerous cell, is my feeling. So you're right, it's about the organism.
Yeah, I love how
I like the way Dave teaches it, is that he says he doesn't know it, so that you're able to think about that, and then you present your perspectives the way Sarah just did.
Yeah.
And it makes you think inwardly to come outwardly. It's a very unique technique when you question and let others answer your questions, because it helps you think about the truth.
Right. And I think that also defines the whole love we have going in this room. It's so true. You just feed off of each other's energy. Go ahead, Sue.
Well, I mean, you look out into just the animal kingdom, and I think animals in themselves exhibit self-love seamlessly, because, like a gorilla that's self-grooming, or a dog just being a dog. They don't stand there and question who they are. They don't stand there and say, oh, I don't know if I like this about me. I don't know about this. Oh, I love this. They just are who they are, and it's expressed through love. They take care of themselves. They take care of, their children. I was going to say children, but
their pack.
So, yeah, exactly.
Their tribe.
Depending on their nature, or their solo, and so they are who they are, and I think that's recognizing your worth is self-love, recognizing who you are as created by God, and when we do, that's when the divine love pours out, and it completely becomes unconditional, because now you are a channel of this divine love, and you love like, the ascended masters and the Buddhas and the Jesus, it's no longer any conditional, because you recognize yourself, your true self, created by God.
I love it.
That's cool.
Okay, so thank you. Yes, God, this has been great, and it's already over. We have 4 minutes left, so I want everyone to just say whatever you feel to our listeners.
I want to hear Sarah sing.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So instead of that, let's go ahead, sing something to heal our listeners.
Inside.
Something you like to
Do you
sing.
mind
Give us a
singing
resonance.
something?
Give us a mantra.
We have 4 minutes.
Nice. Well, I like this piece because it's the newest one, which is always my favorite. So I'll just do just a little chorus. Let's see.
Yeah, here we go.
Do you know it? Do you know it? Do you know? We are humanity, and the earth is our family. All I have, I turn to you and give it.
When I taste heaven, you'll be at the banquet. We got the capacity, we able to organize, put this spread on the table. I got a will, I will give it to you. My work, my thoughts, all I say and do. Want to go to your happiness, my dear lover, Lord, you're my lineage.
So that's
There you go.
a little part of one of the songs.
When you started singing, I started getting chills everywhere. I love it. Oh, I love it.
Isn't that
Beautiful.
cool? You talk about being touched by God's fingertip.
Yes,
People that can
he's
sing is
so
an
good.
amazing deal, man. Amazing
Amazing.
stuff. All right, we got 3 minutes.
Okay, 3 minutes. Go, Dave. Go, Ronnie. Give us 30 seconds, everybody.
30 seconds just anything I
Of
wanna
healing the world. Go for it.
It's just simple. It's just remember just to have fun with everything you do. The world is just a big playground that we live in, and once you start seeing it like that, then you can play along with this game and enjoy it. And it's like however long you're gonna be here, you might as well have fun while you're doing it.
Yes, for sure. Go, Dave.
I'll be brief and let Sue finish up, but what she talked about the animals and how, animals look out for their pack and their herd and their tribe. And, that's the way I think most of us truly feel inside. We see some child who's upset, we go to that child. We see a disaster on the news and we want to help. So that's the natural instinct in us, our spiritual instinct. And I'll let Sue finish.
Okay, go for it, Sue.
Okay, yes, so finishing, just take a moment, closing your eyes and saying, filling your heart, just even for just a second, and in the moment, I choose love, and just practice that, throughout the day as you go along, just, and choosing love, just going back to it, reminding yourself that we have a choice.
And as Sarah said, fun and humor.
The
Dalai Lama said
Fun and humor.
Humor is very disarming.
Yeah.
It shatters through walls and obstacles. So as our panel pointed out, fun and humor and joy and love.
And we got 1 minute. Go ahead, Freddie. You got 10 seconds.
No, it's yours.
Okay, what I would like to say is thank you all so much. This was spiritually moving and uplifting, and I feel the love in this room. What I would like to say is just be kind and loving to yourselves, and give yourself a big hug every day, and enjoy life and live in the moment, here and now. Forget about yesterday. Don't worry about tomorrow. Just live and be happy. Tune in next week to Transform Your Mind, Body, Spirit with Lisa. Thank you all. Bye. Mwah.
Bye.
Bye, Sue. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in today and starting your very own journey through transformation. Don't wait to get the perfect weight, the perfect mate, or the perfect job to become happy. Be happy today. Lisa will continue to help guide you weekly to become more mindful and to live in the now. Feed your body healthy and nutritious foods. Get your body moving. And feed your mind with positive affirmations. With a positive mind, your body will react accordingly. Be here next Sunday or visit her website at any time at lisadwoskin.com. Till then,